This mantelpiece is the most boring thing in this room, so today we're going to transform it with 120 Mexican tiles. This is a project I've wanted to do for so long, and back in April I headed down to Edinburgh to a tile shop which I thought could help me make this dream come true. This is Gail. They stock a wide range of Mexican inspired goods, including these beautiful hand painted tiles, of which they have hundreds of types and choices, and I was there to pick out about 120 in order to fill my mantelpiece. We were in there for maybe 2 hours and the staff were great. They helped us choose a lovely selection of tiles, helped us box them up, and allowed us to break a couple in the process. I'm so sorry.
One more in this box.
And we only had a couple of duplicates in these boxes. Look at the selection we came home with, just the most beautiful things you've ever seen. Now, this mantelpiece, it's annoyed me since I moved in because, like so many things in this house, it's made of wet wool. Honestly, wet wool, you can't escape it in Shetland. Everybody likes to make everything out of it. I hate it. So we had to cover it up. I sanded this surface, wiped it down with acetone, got the paint off it and scored it with a knife, and this will help it make it more grippy for the tiles to stick to. And just to be sure, I added a PVA adhesive glue, which will help the tile adhesive really grip. This wet wool has a slight flex in it, so I was really worried that that would flex and snap the tile off. Now, these tiles actually fit into the hearth section pretty well, and there was only a small gap that I had to fill with cuts. And I was using a pre-mixed adhesive and grout, which I'm not sure if I'd use again because it dried quite fast and you needed to work quickly, but it was definitely good for my first attempt at tiling. One thing I will say here is you'll see me back butter the tiles. You don't actually have to do this if you have tiles this small. That's really just something I saw on YouTube for bigger bathroom flooring tiles, which I thought I had to do here, but you don't have to do that. To cut everything, I used a tile cutter. I just filled it with water and pushed the tiles gently against the abrasive blade. This is just an old tile cutter that my mum found in her garage, and it worked really well for doing straight cuts, but you can obviously use an angle grinder as well. If tools feel overwhelming for you, check out my list in the description below of the best ones to get you started on your DIY projects. I used 3mm tile spacers for this project because I wanted smaller gaps between the tiles because I wanted them to be the star of the show, and I think it actually ended up being really nicely sized and spaced. I really want this to be a focal point of the room and draw the eye to something really colourful and interesting, and already I could see that was definitely happening. On to the second box of tiles for the upright section of the mantelpiece, and I was so lucky with this. The width of this mantelpiece was perfect for the number of tiles I had without having to make any awkward cuts, so I really lucked out there. I just went ahead and used the same tile adhesive, this time not back butter in the tiles. One thing you do want to make sure of is that the notched trowel you use has notches that are shorter than the depth of your tile. If you use ones that have a longer depth than the width of your tile, then you'll end up squeezing out a load of grout over the side of your tile, and that just gets really messy to clean up. So keep the notches of your trowel shorter than the depth of your tile for a nice clean application. We didn't actually buy too many duplicates of each tile, but I was making sure I didn't put any that were too similar next to each other, and I didn't want all the blue ones in one corner and all the pink ones in the other, so that's what I'm doing here. And shout out to Kyoba because what a beautiful mixture they helped us achieve. If you're using tile cutters, my advice is to go slowly, do not push very hard against the blade, and make sure you clean it out every time you use it, because some of them are designed to just kind of cut out if they're being forced or if they're unclean. So I managed to tidy up the section at the bottom, and I thought that would look really good because that's more hidden than the section at the top, so that's why my cuts are on the bottom and not at the top of the mantelpiece. Then I grouted over the top. This is really easy, just get yourself a flexible tile trowel and squeeze the grout in between the gaps. You want to pull diagonally because if you pull directly up and down vertically or horizontally, it'll pull the grout out of the gaps rather than squeezing it into the gaps. You have to be persuasive with this, and it did take me about 2 tries to get enough grout into each gap. And then I went over it with a sponge and then a magic eraser before the tile grout was fully dry, just to make sure there was nothing left on top of the tile. I would definitely recommend using a magic eraser to get rid of all that grout that's maybe left on the tile after it dries, because if you don't get rid of it quickly, then it will stay forever and it'll be an absolute nightmare to get off, and it will ruin the look of your tile. This became so much heavier after all the tile was applied, so I struggled it back up onto the wall to cover that awful hole in the wall, and it was already looking really, really good. I did manage to chip off a lot of the pink paint when I was getting rid of some excess tile adhesive, so I went in with my eggshell paint and touched that up. If you're wondering what paint colour I'm using here, it is Valspar's Canyon Hush, which I had mixed up in a deluxe trade paint for the walls and all the facings. Then I dressed this mantelpiece with my favourite thrifted finds and candles, and I added 2 more tiny tiles, which are small replicas of these beautiful ones, which have turned this into one of my favourite projects in my whole house. This has turned out better than I ever thought it would. I love how it's added lots of different colour into the room, rather than just having pink on pink on pink, which is sometimes what this room can feel like. I have a tool list of all my favourite tools for home renovation and DIY projects like this listed in the description below, so you can download that for free. And in the meantime, thank you for watching, please leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.